Hey there! This week's video is going to be about 10 tips on how to control clutter. I am going to probably be talking to the camera this time mostly, and you'll see some pictures of my experiences and stuff, but so these aren't in any order. I just was given the request to do this, so that said, I'm gonna start. First things first, if you have clutter, make sure that everything has a place. Things accumulate around your house if it doesn't have a place. So make sure that everything has a drawer, a cabinet to sit on, a place on a bed, a place, just make sure everything has a place. If it doesn't, then it's looked at as clutter. If something's seen in the corner of a room, if it's seen on the floor, just sitting out in the random, out in the, on the floor. If there's shoes on the floor, put them in the place where they belong. They don't belong on the floor. If there's a coat, don't throw it on the couch, hang it up. So that's one way to reduce clutter. And if you think about that, think about it in all the different areas of your house. If it doesn't have a place, get rid of it. Sell it, give it to a friend, donate it, do what you gotta do. Number 2, reorganize. So if you have, let's say piles of clothes or piles of stuff, reorganize. If your shelves are messy, if you reorganize your shelves, then you will actually have more space to do with what you need on those shelves. While you're reorganizing, you're gonna come across things that you don't need, don't want, don't use anymore. Get rid of those things, and that opens up a space for you to put more stuff. Not necessarily more stuff, but stuff that you're gonna use rather than stuff that you're not gonna use. And again, if you think about it, in your mind, reorganize your refrigerator. If you take everything out and you take all the stuff and the expired foods out and all that, you end up with more space, everything looks fresher and cleaner, and it looks less cluttered. All right, moving on. Get rid of those just in case items. Because I used to be a hoarder, I had a ton of just in case items. I'm this size, but if I was to gain a little weight, I'll keep these clothes just in case. If I have too much paper, or I'm like, oh, I don't want to write, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but if I need paper or a notebook or something to write on, I'm going to keep these notebooks just in case. Those just in case items tend to add up really quick, and they take a lot of space. Yes, I was collecting shot glasses, but I also said, hey, what if I had a party and I needed a bunch of shot glasses? I'd have them just in case. That's the thing. You can't think of life as just in case, because then you're saving all of these just non-important items all around your house. Okay, number 4 would be keep it out of sight. So one of the reasons I have a bunch of closed storage is because I don't want my items showing. The more items that are showing in your house, the more it looks like clutter. I don't want it to look like clutter, so I actually had built all of these cabinets, and although the cabinets make the space closed in a little more because it's a big cabinet, no one can see what's behind it. And what's behind it is, to be honest with you, a bunch of junk. Not junk, but, inventory in my office and supplies and stuff that is too much to be seen from the human eye. If I had open storage, like open shelving or open shelving in the kitchen, I would have it would look way too cluttered. You'd see everything, you would see just how many things I had. The closed storage provides that wall. It's like a box that, is one box that you see. And inside that box is 100 little things that make it look like clutter. So that's how one of the ways that I reduce clutter is by enclosing all of that stuff behind closed doors so that it doesn't appear as clutter. All right, number 5, reduce your need for material items. So let's just say you love, I can't really say this because I love and need, I feel like I need rings and jewelry. I don't have them on right now, but I have tons of them. And what I'm trying to say is all you need is 1 or 2. Reduce the need for more of those material items. So everything in moderation. If you collect crystals like I do, I used to have tons and tons of crystals. Both of these here are actually all the crystals that were in my house. It was like 400 crystals. I toned down to about 100 crystals. So yes, I'm still learning how not to be a hoarder, but I did get rid of a lot. Same with books. I had like 400 or 500 books, and I toned down to about 100, which is why this office looks like clutter, because there's still 100 books there. I mean, even in my lofts, or even in my cat loft, I have more books up there. This is touching base on number 5. If you must have something in your house, like I said, reducing the need for something. If you must have something, take out one thing. I mean, you don't have to go, you don't have to take out several things, just 1 to 1. If it's an equal exchange, then there's no space wasted. I guess depending on size and what you're bringing in, but if it's an equal exchange, the apples are old, I threw them out, I'm bringing in a new bunch of apples. If you kept the old and kept the new, now you need space for 2 bunches of apples. So that's just how, exchange it if you must have the material items, but learn to live with what you have and equally exchange it out. Number 6, so junk drawers. Yes, junk drawers are a lot of clutter, but if you must keep some clutter, keep it in a junk drawer. A junk drawer has a designated spot, which means it's out of sight for the most part. But with my junk drawer, as you can see here, I use this so much, I'm opening it dozens of times a day. I keep my keys and my wallet and sunglasses, money, change. There are so many things that you can keep in a junk drawer that come in handy. If you didn't have that junk drawer, where would you put all those little things that might come in handy when you needed them? Like batteries. Batteries are used for many different things. You might need them someday. Same with zip ties, rubber bands, paper clips, matches. Just little things that, pens, pencils, markers, a lot of those, even nails, different kinds of nails and little kinds of hardware things. If these things weren't put in a designated junk drawer, where would you put it all? It would be scattered around your house, and you'd be like, oh, I have to go wherever to get a rubber band. So that would look like clutter all around the house. So that's why, that specific junk drawer would actually be a beneficial thing if you must have that junk drawer. If you must have that clutter. I personally have to have that clutter. I actually have 3 of them. Yes, 3. It's crazy. But I use a lot of that stuff in there. And I'm actually thinking about going through a couple of them and getting rid of a lot of them, because sometimes they do overwhelm me. Number 7 would be if you, say the walls. If you have open walls, it reduces the look of clutter. In my old apartment, I, for some reason, had to have something on every wall. It bothered me if there wasn't something on every wall. I kind of felt like it had to match my mind, and my mind is always busy. So my refrigerator was busy. Oh my God, my refrigerator. I couldn't just have a couple magnets and pictures. I had to have tons. So it looked cluttered. And I went from this refrigerator to this refrigerator. It's still a little bit overwhelming, but so much more better than a big, overwhelming refrigerator. So if you want to reduce the clutter on your walls, just put a decoration here or there. There doesn't need to be one on every wall. In a house. In a tiny house, I do have decoration. Well, no, I actually don't have a decoration on every wall. But because I only have, a certain amount of space on the inside, I did have to decorate vertically. So it's not just the bottom floor that has decorations on it and all the walls are blank and clear. No, it's got a catwalk connected to it and bookshelves connected to it, cabinets. I put a couple things up there like that and just little decorations, my dream catchers all around, some plants, but it's not as overwhelming with all the decorations that I had in my other house. So to reduce that clutter, I picked a theme, and I went with one theme. In my old apartment, I had like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. I have an addictive personality, if you can't already tell. I had to have so many different things to fill my space. So I was addicted to like fairies and crystals and herbs, gargoyles and witchy things, and just tons of celestial suns, moons, stars. I collected everything. So when I said I was going tiny, I said to reduce that clutter, I'm just going to pick one theme, 1 or 2 basic colors for the house, instead of a hodgepodge full of a bunch of different eclectic things. I feel my space is it's fresher now with just one theme. Everything matches. It's lighter, it's fresher. Everything was confusing before because it looked like so much clutter. So that's what I did to reduce the clutter on the walls. You pick one theme, keep some of the walls blank and just put that theme in random places here and there. If you must have 1 or 2 or 3 themes, that's fine, but not 10, 11, or 12 like I had. So my themes right now would be plants, dream catchers, and say crystals. So that's my theme. I don't have any other collections anywhere like I used to have everywhere in my house. So that's huge for me. Okay, moving on. Number 8 would be clothes clutter. In my old apartment, I had 2 full closets of clothes, 9 different drawers full of clothes, different other spaces filled with clothes. It was crazy. So what I did to reduce that clutter was take the size that you are now and get rid of everything that doesn't fit. Reverting back to one of the other tips on clutter, getting rid of those just in case items. That's what I would do with my size clothes, is that if I'm this size now, I will save my all these sizes of clothes as well, just in case I gain weight or just in case I lose weight. Because what happened was when I had my whole accident with my arm at my job, or my last job, when I was taking their medication, I gained weight. So I had to buy a size up and a size up and a size up. I was 150, I'm 110 now. So I gained 40 pounds. I had to buy clothes that fit me up to there. So then what happened was I lost the weight and I bought medium-sized clothes because I wasn't quite small yet. And so now I had 3 sets of clothes, small, medium, and large. And I said, well, I don't want to have to keep buying all this stuff every time I lose weight or gain weight, so I'm just going to keep it all, which meant I had to have space for all. So here's how to reduce the clutter in your clothes. Whatever size you are now, have that size clothes. And then if you gain weight, get rid of the older clothes, just say goodbye to them, don't put them in storage. Maybe save 1 or 2 cute, clothes that fit you when you were this size and you still like them. But for the most part, you may not fit in them again. Just get rid of them and buy new clothes. Then, if you lose weight, get rid of the bigger clothes and buy some awesome new clothes. I mean, that's awesome because then you get new clothes to feel good about your new body. So, even if you're gaining weight, you have new clothes to feel great about that body. So that's how you reduce clutter in the clothes. Get rid of old size clothes, get rid of stained clothes. You may have a sweatshirt or jeans that have rips in them that you don't wear out, but they're your favorite pair of comfortable jeans. Say goodbye to them, take a picture of them and store it on your computer, but that gets rid of the jeans and you always remember them and every picture that you have of them, but you're getting rid of the need to house that item in your space. Because if you're not using those clothes and the items in your space, it's just a waste of space. So that's a way to reduce clutter with your clothes. Number 9. Your pictures, your cards, your books, even though not my books, all of your mail, all of your important documents, yearbooks, any kind of paper materials. To reduce that kind of clutter, try to digitize it. What I did, now I'm half and half because I still have the books. I would rather have my paper books than an electronic e-reader or something like that. I'm not into those. I don't know if it's old-fashioned, but I love my books. I reference them a lot, so I guess I could reference Google too, though. Okay, Google. When I had thousands, well, maybe hundreds of cards. Ever since I was growing up, I had hundreds and hundreds of cards. Every birthday, holiday that people would give me cards, I would save them all in this big bin. When I went tiny, I said, I'm not gonna save all this stuff. I'm not going to, it was underneath my bed in my apartment, so where would I put that in a tiny house? So to keep those memories, which I wanted to keep those memories, which I kind of actually didn't keep those memories, I spaced out on the floor a bunch of different cards and I just took one picture of them, as you can see right here. Just took a picture of them, but next to it there's a bin of hundreds more. So the whole thought of taking the picture of them was, hey, I used to save these memories. I'm remembering this as I'm looking at them again. So there's my memory, and then I move on with my life. So I digitized my cards and my pictures. I had boxes and boxes, maybe 10 or 12 boxes, those picture boxes filled with pictures. I love taking pictures and I love capturing moments and making memories, having those memories on hand. So I learned from a bunch of Facebook groups that you can digitize your stuff, and that's one way I reduced that because I had so many, needed space for all of that. So then I decided, let me just digitize it all, get it out of there, and now I have it on one. I have a hard drive right here, and this is where all of my information is. It's small, I can take it with me. I have this little cord that can go with it. It's a hard drive. It has so much information on it that it's kind of like it has my business on here, all my pictures, my past. And you know what? If I lost this or whatever, just let it go. It's memories. I'm still alive, so But the way that you the way that you reduce the clutter with all the paper stuff is to digitize it and all that. Oh, you can scan them on CDs if you want to, if you don't want to use one of these hard drives. I'm finding that when I save the stuff on my computer, I'm using so much space that it's like you ran out of space, time to buy more space. So I decided to get the one bigger one, which makes a lot more sense than having 5 different spaces on the computer or your phone where you can save all this stuff and then you run out of space and disks and blah. And number 10, so last but not least, is spend more time in nature. To reduce clutter, if you're inside, you need that clutter. You need a book to read. You need something to do. You need that game to play. You need that movie to watch, so that you need all these things inside your home to keep you entertained. Try not to be entertained on the inside of your home. One of the reasons I went tiny is because I depended too much on the stuff. My stuff was controlling me, so my stuff was keeping me on the inside. oh, well, I have all this stuff that I bought, so I need to stay inside and watch all the movies I bought, and stay inside and read all the books I bought. If you don't have that clutter inside your house to keep you entertained, what else are you going to do? You can go outside and be entertained by nature. Take a walk, get some exercise, go to a park, go to a pond, go fishing. Sure, you may have some hobbies and things that you need to store some of these outside recreational items in, so maybe store it in your trunk or in an outside storage thing. So a fishing pole, or weights, or a bike, or gardening tools. But those are the things that are kept outside. Outside doesn't really look cluttered, I guess, so we're just trying to reduce space on the inside of your house. So there you have it. Those are 10 ways that you can reduce clutter while living in your tiny house. I hope this video was informative. If you like this channel and my videos, please subscribe below and hit the notifications bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Because books were important to me, I had to... Never mind. Just in case. Need for... So cheesy.